What's going on, everyone? So, the NBA may be kind of put on a bit of a hold, particularly on this offseason because of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And what does he decide to do? What does he end up doing? You're already getting reports, you're already hearing news that, like, hey, even the Kevin Durant trade might be put on hold until the team that ends up landing Giannis, or if he stays in Milwaukee, or whatever ends up happening. And that is something that could be very beneficial for the Lakers, right? Lakers, look, they love to star chase. I'm sure they'll throw their hat in the ring for a Kevin Durant and a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm sure that they will. Realistically speaking, I don't think that they're necessarily going to land either. I don't think that that's even necessarily what they should do for either, right? Now, maybe Kevin Durant, because maybe you can get him cheap enough to where maybe it makes sense. But I just think realistically, if I'm the Lakers, this could be very beneficial for them. You're going to have the NBA kind of be on hold. You're going to have the Kevin Durant trade be on hold. And everybody's going to focus and wait on what happens with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who wins the Giannis sweepstakes? And to me, that's where I think the Lakers can swoop in and maybe pick off a couple pieces that they wouldn't have maybe been able to get otherwise, or maybe would have had more competition to go get otherwise. Because these teams that are all waiting to see, like, hey, maybe we land Giannis, right? They're not going to be in that conversation where they might have been otherwise, right? If a team needs a sizable, versatile wing, right? A team like the San Antonio Spurs, hearing reports like the Pelicans might have several guys available, right? Herb Jones and Trey Murphy and all these guys. Well, if you're a team like the Lakers, right, and you're looking at a team like San Antonio could use all these players. Well, they're probably going to be, hey, we don't want to go trade for Herb Jones or Trey Murphy because we might end up landing on us, so let's be patient. And now the Lakers can kind of come in, swoop in, and maybe get that deal done. Maybe now, if you're the Lakers, maybe now you can go and grab a Herb Jones and get rid of the competition, right? And then the teams that end up missing out on Giannis are probably going to go make a play for Kevin Durant, right? So if you're the Lakers, instead of doing the usual habit, which is like, hey, we want the star. We need to go add the star. Let's go add a Kevin Durant, right? Let's go add a Giannis, right? Realistically, again, I don't think they'll necessarily be able to get those guys. Obviously, look, if Giannis came out and said, like, I only want to go to the Lakers, trade me the Lakers, or Kevin Durant said, I only want to go to the Lakers, trade me the Lakers, then, yeah, maybe that's a different conversation. Maybe now you're listening and exploring and going over said potential, right? Because it's like, we probably don't have to give up as much, right? He really wants to force his way, right? Like, so you'd have some leverage at that point. But realistically speaking, that's probably not going to happen. Neither of those guys are probably going to force their way to the Lakers. So let these other teams kind of stumble all over themselves. Let these other teams kind of, scratch and claw and fight to the death to go get, a Giannis Antetokounmpo or go get a Kevin Durant. And then while all these teams are distracting, you're sneaking in through the back door to just go pick the pieces in the back that are just as valuable to you as these other guys would be, right? Because again, let everyone go for the big game hunt, right? Let them go track down that lion, right? Like, you're over here like, man, I get a bunch of these animals. Like, I can get a bunch of these things that can come out and just give us the same thing that lion would give us, right? Give us the same result, if not more, right? Maybe you get better depth. Maybe you get better versatility. Maybe you get some higher end wings. Maybe you can get some players that you might have not been able to get because everyone's stumbling over themselves to go get that guy rather than that, right? One of the things that I've talked about is, with the Lakers is the more options, the better. Right? Because the more options that there are on the market, the more likely it is that the Lakers are able to get something done. The more likely that it is that the Lakers are able to find some type of trade and get some type of trade done, right? Particularly for the center positions. Like, every day you're hearing a new center become available and maybe be on the trade market. So if you're the Lakers, you are in a position to where it's like, okay, there is whatever. If for example, let's say there's 5 teams going after, 8 guys. Even if all 5 of those teams get, 5 of the 8 guys, there's still those 3 guys that are now available that the Lakers can maybe come in and snag, 1, 2, or 3 of them, right? But if there's 8 guys and everyone's focused and fighting over one, then you might have your pick of the other 7. Like maybe now you can get number, the second best guy amongst the 8, the second and the fourth best guy, rather than you would have gotten the sixth and seventh best guy or sixth and eighth best guy or whatever, right? Like it gives the Lakers more potential to get deals done because all these other teams are going to be so focused on the Giannis trade, right? Like what I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see the Lakers sit on their thumbs and wait around because everyone else is waiting around and they're like, obviously there's going to be some teams that don't want to make trades and don't want to make moves because they're going to be in the Giannis race. But a team like the Pelicans, they're not going to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is probably not going to want to go to New Orleans, right? So like there's teams that are immediately going to be out of the conversation, out of the equation. Right, there's teams that know, hey, we're not going to be able to trade for Giannis. Sure, we'll throw our hat in the ring, right? But come on, we're not going to land Giannis, right? Those are the teams that if I'm the Lakers, I would look to, right? Like I said, again, sticking with the Pelicans as an example, right? Pelicans are probably not landing Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if you're the Lakers, right? Hey, everyone's distracted. Everyone's looking over here. Everyone wants these shiny toys over here. Let's go over here and try to get a deal done. Right? Like, hey, look, you might not even be able to trade. Why not get something now, right? Like, or, hey, we're looking for these two guys, right? Like, and there's just not the competition. Or, Giannis ends up going and then Kevin Durant ends up going and then now two of those guys are knocked out, right? Like, Lakers have a history of waiting for the big name. Kawhi Leonard is a great example that comes to mind. And if they land them, great, right? Like, if Lakers end up landing Giannis, then great. Like, right? It's like, man, good luck, right? Or if they land Kevin Durant, it's like, great. Again, good luck. But realistically speaking, why wait around for those guys when you have so many needs, so many holes that can be addressed while everyone else is waiting and distracted? Let them stay distracted. Let them wait. Let them try to figure out what they want to do with their lives while you're doing what you need to do in order to acquire the guys that you need to acquire, in order to land the guys that you need to land. I just think that that's the better approach for the Lakers. Instead of going and chasing the big fish, instead of going and chasing the whale, right? Like, don't worry about let them go get the whale. Let them go chase that whale, right? We need to eat, right? We need an abundance of fish, right? We got a village to feed. Let's go get this abundance. Let's go get the things that we need. Let's solve all our holes because you might be able to get better deals because everyone else is too busy stumbling over themselves and offering the farm to go get X, Y, and Z. Right? So you might be able to come in, even if it's just one guy or two guys, right? Like, again, even if you just, you get a Herb Jones cheaper than you would have if all these teams weren't trying to stumble over themselves to go get Giannis, right? And then Kevin Durant, right? So to me, that's what I hope that the Lakers focus on. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question. You let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. How do you feel either way? Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.